Battle of Thermopylae, true story of 300 Spartan warriors. The Battle of Thermopylae was one of the most famous and heroic battles in ancient history, where 300 Spartan warriors and their allies faced the massive Persian army in a narrow pass in 480 BC. The battle was part of the Second Persian invasion of Greece, which aimed to conquer all of Greece and avenge the defeat of the First Persian invasion at the Battle of Marathon in 490 BC. The Persian king, Xerxes, had gathered a huge land and naval force, estimated to be over 1 million men, from various regions of his vast empire, such as Medes, Elamites, Babylonians, Egyptians, Indians, and others. He crossed the Hellespont, a strait that separates Europe and Asia, by building 2 bridges of boats, and marched towards Greece, conquering and plundering the lands on his way. The Greek city-states, which were often divided and at war with each other, formed an alliance to resist the Persian invasion. They sent a force of about 7,000 men, led by King Leonidas of Sparta, to block the advance of the Persian army at the pass of Thermopylae, which means hot gates in Greek because of the nearby hot springs. The pass was only wide enough for a few thousand men to fight at a time, and the Greeks hoped to use this terrain advantage to neutralize the Persian numerical superiority. The Spartans were the best warriors in Greece, as they had been trained since childhood to be disciplined, fearless, and loyal to their state. They valued honor and glory above all else and were willing to die for their cause. They wore bronze helmets, breastplates, and greaves, and carried large shields, long spears, and short swords. They fought in a tight formation called the phalanx, where they used their shields and spears to create a wall of defense. The other Greek allies included soldiers from Thespia, Thebes, Corinth, Phocis, and other city-states, who also fought bravely and skillfully. The battle lasted for 3 days, from 21 to 23 July, 20 August, or 8 to 10th of September, depending on the source. The exact date is uncertain, as the ancient calendars did not match the modern ones. On the first day, the Persians launched several frontal attacks on the Greek position, but they were repelled by the Greek phalanx, which inflicted heavy casualties on the Persians, while suffering only a few. Xerxes watched the battle from his throne on a hill, and was astonished by the courage and strength of the Greeks, especially the Spartans, who fought with a fierce and calm demeanor. On the second day, the Persians tried to use their elite troops, such as the Immortals, the 10,000-strong personal guard of Xerxes, but they also failed to break through the Greek lines. The Persians also tried to use their archers, who fired volleys of arrows at the Greeks, but the arrows were mostly deflected by the bronze shields of the Greeks, or did not cause serious wounds. The Persians also tried to use their cavalry, who were faster and more mobile than the infantry, but they were also hindered by the narrowness of the pass and were vulnerable to the spears of the Greeks. The turning point of the battle came on the 3rd day, when a local Greek named Ephialtes betrayed the Greeks and revealed to the Persians the existence of a secret path that led behind the Greek position. This path was known to the Greeks, and they had stationed a detachment of Phocian soldiers to guard it. However, the Phocians were surprised and overwhelmed by the Persian force led by Hydarnes, one of Xerxes' generals, and the Persians managed to outflank the Greeks. When Leonidas learned of the Persian maneuver, he realized that the battle was lost, and that the Greek army would soon be surrounded and slaughtered. He decided to dismiss most of the Greek forces and ordered them to retreat and regroup with the rest of the Greek army. He himself, however, chose to stay behind with his 300 Spartans and 700 Thespians, who refused to abandon him. Some sources also mention that 400 Thebans and 900 Helots, the Spartan slaves, also remained with Leonidas. The final stand of the Greeks was heroic and tragic. They fought with all their might, knowing that they would die, but hoping to inflict as much damage as possible on the Persians. They used their swords, spears, daggers, and even their teeth and nails to kill as many Persians as they could. They were eventually overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of the Persians, who showered them with arrows, spears, and stones. Leonidas was one of the first to fall, and his body was fiercely contested by both sides. The Persians managed to recover his corpse, and Xerxes ordered it to be beheaded and crucified as a sign of disrespect and revenge. The Greeks, however, managed to retrieve his head and bury it with honor. The Battle of Thermopylae ended with a Persian victory, but it was a costly one. The Persians lost about 20,000 men, according to the ancient historian Herodotus, who wrote the first and most detailed account of the battle, while the Greeks lost only about 4,000. The Persians also lost time and morale, as they realized that the Greeks were not easy to conquer and that they would have to face more resistance in the future. The Greeks, on the other hand, gained courage and inspiration from the sacrifice of Leonidas and his men, and vowed to avenge them. The Battle of Thermopylae was not the end of the war, but the beginning of a series of battles that would eventually lead to the defeat of the Persians and the preservation of Greek freedom and culture. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos about history